and I've said publicly, something like Bitcoin is a non-security token.
Assets and access to accounts also apply to crypto, or are these merely masquerading as unregulated banks?
Well, in a word, yes. Um, just think of it this way. You've got a bunch of platforms, crypto lending platforms that had been offering anywhere from 4% yields to 20% yields in an interest rate environment that was generally for short-term deposits less than 1%. You've got to sort of think, if you're an investor, if it's too good to be true, maybe it is. And how is it that that would be possible? And so a lot of risk may well be embedded in that. And we have securities laws. As you said, we have banking laws. But under the securities laws, if you're pooling a bunch of people's assets, we usually call that an investment company. And some of these lending platforms had 500,000 or 2 million or even more members of the public, investors, pulling their assets together, and these platforms offering, as I say, 4, 7, 8, 10, or even 20% returns, sort of too good to be true type of return.
People are losing a lot of money here. The same protections that apply to traditional asset classes don't really apply to crypto.
Well, actually, let me say that's because they're non-compliant platforms and token potentially. I can't prejudge any one of them, but we do have robust laws and rules at the Securities and Exchange Commission. My fellow market regulator, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, does as well. We fortunately have the ability to write rules and use exemptive authority, but the public is not protected largely because of the non-compliance in this space.
Right. So to your point, Chair, why haven't you taken more aggressive action in terms of rule writing here? Is it an issue of authority? It seems to be that you feel that a lot of these are classified as securities. So what's really holding you back from acting now, and what can we expect?
Jennifer, I sort of, if I might just not accept the premise, we have rules in place for what it means to be an investment company, like a mutual fund when you put your money in. And what we found earlier this year, we settled with one lending platform called BlockFi, that they were a non-compliant, unregistered investment company, and that they had not yet gone forward and shared their public information with the public. And they had 670,000 investors, $17 billion of crypto, as these are all public figures in that filing, in that settlement. And so there is a path forward for these lending companies. We're continuing to work on that settlement as that was publicly announced. And there are paths forward here.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, I come back with that video just to make you think. And we have Gary Gensler again, making excuses why the SEC hasn't brought in rules for crypto. This asset class is over 10 years old. But we know why. We know that global regulation is coming in. ISO starts this year and be in full effect in 2024. Remember, Gary Gensler and Janet Yellen are the chess pieces for the NWO to get the masses moved over to the fourth industrial revolution. And right now, we have the Fed shrinking liquidity. They pumped 20% of all money in existence in 1 year. And then they turned around and flipped it about 10 times. Now it's time to take it out so they can start building. Remember, guys, it's a Schmeat's a year. Now they're going to start building the fourth industrial revolution. And majority of it will be built by 2025. Where the robots, algorithms, and drones take over the economy and the sheep go inside the metaverse. But first, guys, we got to have that main distraction, that main event. And it's been over 21 years since the last one. And guys, we know the power of 7. And we just had a comment, and we know what that means. Destruction, doomsday. And remember, the Crypto Teacher told you because he knows. When it comes to the New World Order, it's all planned out. You have a wonderful day.
Well, I don't think there necessarily is a bottom. It all depends on how long the Fed continues to tighten. And the two factors that we're looking at is number one, inflation, which just CPI just had a 9.1% print, and globally inflation is even higher. So the Fed's going to continue to be very aggressive, driving markets down and taking liquidity out of the system. So for the last 12 years, we've had a lot of liquidity being pumped into the system. But when you have liquidity coming out of the system, there's not much liquidity to drive markets higher. It just continues to take markets down. Our estimate,
if you're seeing a 30% drawdown, that would bring it to about $14,000. And my sense is you're saying that'll be from the Fed, inflation impact, and potentially do you see more dominoes falling in the crypto space?
I don't think we see too many more dominoes falling in the crypto space. One of the biggest concerns is Celsius was also a custody provider for many asset managers, not just Celsius, but Voyager, and people utilize Babel and some of these other failed lending platforms. And what we're going to see over the next 3 months are asset managers either going bankrupt, insolvent, or winding down their funds altogether because they can't get their funds out. And that's probably the next piece of the contagion risk. But for the most part, we feel like it's over.
We're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear sign.
This effort. And China has big plans for this. They intend to seed their digital yuan into the global environment by giving it away to visitors at next winter's Olympics. When they arrive at the airport, they're going to get yuan digital wallets. They're going to receive digital yuan. They're going to use it throughout their visits to Beijing, and then they're going to take it back to their home countries. They see this as a huge advantage. Why? Because who controls the underlying protocols, who controls the underlying standards of the future of money will control the future of money.
The most powerful person in the world is the storyteller. The storyteller sets the vision, values, and agenda of an entire generation to come. Steve Jobs. And guys, I truly believe in this. When you look at the New World Order, they're the storytellers. And that's the reason why I wrote my New World Order book. But guys, now it's time to change the current generation. And I wrote 3 kids' books. I love the Trinity because I understand the power that's in it. So I have 3 books. We have an opportunity to change the generation, to educate, not just me, but I want to show you that I take action on a daily basis. And I want you to take action on a daily basis. Whether it's your job, whether it's in your community, we have an opportunity right now to educate the masses. I posted this on my Twitter account. Please share, but this is a short clip of the 3 books. There's going to be a clothing line and action figures. Please get these books for your kids, nephews, cousins, friends. So therefore, we can start the re-education now. Because as we see, the 4th Industrial Revolution foundation is definitely here. Robots, algorithms, drones, taking humanity out the picture. We have to re-educate. But let's get into the video.
Part 1. King Joshua and Brahmatayam save the village. Part 2. King Joshua and Brahmatayam save New York from COVID-33. Part 3. King Joshua and Grandma Tam goes to China.
It's mandatory to get part 1, part 2, and part 3 of this series. It's time to re-educate Generation Z.